So it's Empty Lane Studios, or is it just Empty Lane?
So Empty Lane is the name of the studio. Empty Lane Studios is sort of the multimedia umbrella. So like there's some video content under that, and it's my LLC and things like that. But I've always, I don't know, been attracted to the idea of a lot of great studios that get named by one word or one phrase, and they don't have studio recording in their name.
Like
But
Apple?
we want two.
No, Apple actually does.
I
We want
like
two words in our name.
Yeah.
Empty Lane.
Yeah,
That's
well,
it.
It's 2 words.
2 words.
Not one.
Not one. You could
Making
hyphenate
sure.
it, make it
band
one.
names can be that way.
I really like Electric Lady. I love the sound of that, and people don't. I mean, we're just projecting this hyper egotistical thing into the universe that we don't need to say that we're a studio when we do. But that's I'll be like, hey, we're a studio. It's called Empty Lane in the same sentence, and then it'll catch on.
Eventually. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like saying, like, you know, it's a band with the word "the" in front of it, kind of like the Edison Cabinet. You know, it's kind of, I don't know. It's a weird thing to say because it sounds kind of like, I don't know, preposterous.
In case you're just tuning in, we're here with Jackson and Colin from Empty Lane. I'm Mikey reporting for Smokestack. This is October 18th, 2024. Thanks, guys. This is
thank you.
This is going to be pretty cool. You can choke up on that mic if you want, Jackson.
I'm gonna choke up on it.
Touch
choke
it,
up on
feel
it
it,
real hard.
hold it, love it.
Nice.
So, just a little bit about yours. What kind of brought you guys together to do this?
Well,
I'm gonna give it to you this time.
Production.
So when Empty Lane was in its first steps, I guess. It's infancy, yeah. That's that's a great way of putting it. I was in a band called One Eyed Rush, and the lead front man, I guess, of that, his name's Luke, got in contact with Colin by who knows how, but Colin was there. Pigeon. But we recorded here for about 2 weeks, and I got to know Colin. I got to know the studio. I got to know the space.
And it wasn't like this then.
I got to know his talent. And then, fast forward quite a bit, probably like a year and a half.
So is that available to listen to, the finished product?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's out.
It's out. Still,
I wouldn't say it shows what the studio is now.
Well, a little context on that is that was when I was just a computer in a room.
That is very.
And so I'd done live sound work and studio work before, but honestly, it was in that period of I know these skills because I've been directed to use them by other people. But how do I control this situation? How do I steer the ship? And so there was a lot of records, that I did at like ridiculously cheap prices, just trying to learn as fast as I could.
That's like the only reason we were able to get in for 2 weeks. I mean, we were just a bunch of like teenagers at that point too. So it was
a
like
lot of like high school bands.
Yeah, it was
all relevant.
Yeah, it was
it's all relevant because it's how you got to where you are now.
Exactly.
Well,
absolutely.
I'm glad,
I wouldn't trade any of it for anything else.
I'm glad we met. I just think that, now, I think 2023 is when we really launched into recording like proper, let's hear that on the radio. Let's put that in a TV show. Like people won't go, wait, you call that a recording?
Right?
Passable shit. Yeah. Let's say that.
Yeah. But anyways, I met him, and then fast forward quite a bit. I decided to try and throw a festival at the South Kitsap High School.
What was that called?
It was called Area 10. It was it flopped. Sound-wise, it was immaculate.
I did sound.
He did sound. I hired Colin, and that's what launched our, professional relationship.
And then we became buds.
Then we became best buds.
Because I was like, I need a bunch of help at this
and I need a friend.
My old friend sucks.
Hey, you wind these cables, I'm going to go get lunch.
Yeah. We went through that phase. No, but it was, the studio was really heating up and things were getting booked. And that was around the time that, this was the end of 2022 though.
Yes, yeah.
And so I mentioned this was August of 2022, actually, so not quite the end that we met again in a different context. And yeah, so I did sound for the event, and it was actually really great working together, even though the event, wasn't attended the way either of us had hoped. He was super professional and communicative and fair, and I was like, this is awesome. And he expressed a lot of interest in like, hey, maybe I'd love to have you mix like my other new band's thing, and I just anytime, and maybe you could teach me. And then it kind of went from there.
Yeah.
And
so what inspired you to actually want to open a production company for the public?
Yeah.
In Kitsap County.
Yeah.
Why Kitsap County? Why?
Well, I found that the moment I started, so I worked at the Charleston for a bit, doing sound there, and anytime I met a band that I liked, I always had this very strong impulse of like, I want to work with them. I want to see what they do. And before that, I mean, I'd interned before and definitely done a lot of live sound stuff. And I'd always felt very passionate and done some really horrible recordings for myself. And but at the time, I can't remember what that effect is called, where you know enough about something to think you're right, but not enough to know you're wrong. So
no clue.
I keep hearing it. And anyway, I was at that stage, where I was like, okay, I know the basic building blocks of recording stuff, but I didn't know how crap it was. But it needs to be crap first, right? You need to make a whole bunch of mistakes.
Yeah, that's how you learn. Definitely.
But anyway,
yeah.
Fast forward, I had been doing, stuff for dirt cheap to just learn more about it and meet more people, and then I recorded a couple albums at the end of 2022. Because again, we weren't like open to the public, but I was charging money. It was just sort of like it was a project space that, if I met somebody that I thought was cool, we'd do it. Or a band mentioned to me that wanted to record. It was more casual, a lot cheaper. And I recorded the first effort that I did with the Banana Creatures. I recorded the Chameleons' second record. And I recorded Jordan Eller's record all around the same time. And I was like, this is awesome. And they just felt like they were better than what I had done before. And I was like, you know what? I think I can do this. Let's try and ramp it up a little bit more beginning of 2023. And then the musician I had always looked up to more than anybody, his name's Nathan Smurthwaite, and he used to work at Uptone in Tacoma. And...
his band's actually going to be playing at the fundraiser.
Yeah, the Marrying Type is going to be playing day 2 of the festival we're doing.
Sweet.
But he wanted to come in and record, and he had a very ambitious schedule. He's like, hey, I'm gonna come in by myself, and I'm gonna do 5 songs in one day, and I need like the drum setup and the bass setup and the vocal setup, and it just was going to be a go. Not to mention,
I mean, that was like the first.
Yeah,
day after construction had been completely finished upstairs.
That was that when we decided, after those few records I, forementioned that, like, okay, this is, I got Jackson on board now, and he's really inspired, and these albums seem really good that we've done recently. I think let's step it up. So I decided to move out of here, and we did construction of the ISO booths and ran the snake through the walls and did the vocal booth and the drum booth and
the clouds.
The clouds.
They come in handy.
They do make a pretty big difference.
What
and
works.
Yeah, so Nathan was the first person in here within that first week of January of 2023, and that recording with this new space and a couple new mics and Jackson and I full force working together, it was like night and day. It was so much better.
Streamlined. It sounded better.
Oh my God,
like incredibly better.
Like at least 3 times as fast as working in cramped spaces where you're stepping over each other, of course. And Nathan was really happy. And originally he just wanted to do an EP, but he ended up being like, "Oh, this is good. Yeah, I'm going to bring 5 more, and we're going to do a whole record here." And that was just like, I don't know.
Kind of an honor.
It was like, I was very honored because I've looked up to him forever. But moral of the story here, we were like, okay, we did an upgrade on the space, and it worked, and it made an immediate noticeable difference. Of course, we had to figure out like, there's latency on that headphone send, or there's no phantom through that channel, and things like that. But we were immediately like, okay, we did a little bit to this room, and it already sounds great for drums. And I mean, everybody for 2 years now has been recording in here, and happier and happier. So anyway, we took that and we were like, let's run with it. I think that was the moment where we really were like, let's do it. Beginning of
so is that considered one of the best sessions that's actually, is it done and actually available yet?
About 18 months, but it just got mastered through Laminal Audio.
So you say that be the best session that you had in here sound wise, or what was the best session?
I feel like sound wise, it just gets better with every new session personally, because we find new things and new ways to streamline it. I would say just based off of the night and day difference, you can absolutely see it with that session versus the one right before it. Like you can hear the like audio change. It is like night and day. It's so
because you're recording, not fixing things.
Yeah,
exactly.
No,
absolutely.
Yeah. You know, not trying to polish garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded really great. And so and then of course the mixing process was pretty involved, and the mastering process was as well. But along the way, everybody was really excited about it. Laminal Audio seemed really excited about it. Me and Jackson were, Nathan was. There was never any like, God, we just can't get this right. It was very inspiring. So anyway, after 18 months on and off, I should say, not on and on. It's ready to go. I don't know exactly when it's coming out. I think he's, looking at different options for releasing things right now. But it's really, really fantastic.
That's awesome. So to the Empty Lane Festival coming up, can you tell us a little bit about that? The bands each day playing some details for everybody.
Yeah. So we're throwing it November 1st and 2nd at the lovely Charleston. And we're going to have 5 bands each day.
Who are the bands on the first evening?
So the first
we kind of like spread it out with like genre almost.
Yeah, we went for like a rockier, harder vibe the first night, and then more of an indie vibe the second night. Friday night, November 1st, show will be opened up by Shit Tomato, who is an experimental noise artist. He plays trumpet and bass and has like a Roland sampler and some loopers and
corn dog.
It's definitely it's definitely very fun. And we did his record a little bit ago.
Yeah, not
and
too long ago.
It's a wild. It's an explosive, wild, crazy lo-fi goodness. It's awesome.
Sweet.
And then after that, the first of our my 3 bands will be played, the Edison Cabinet, and we are super stoked because we've only ever played two shows, and last time we played was at least a year ago, and we were a 3-piece. And now we are a 7-piece.
We're coming back
there you
in
go.
Full force. It's going to be an orchestra.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy?
What's the instrumentation for that group?
So we've got 2 drummers, Christian from the drummer of Chameleons, and Justino, the drummer of Russian Blue. And they're a drummer. I am the singer, and I play guitar. Jackson.
Yeah, I play guitar and I play keys. Well,
nice,
synth,
dude. Nice, dude. Yeah, no fucking keys.
No keys. No keys.
Just synth. I don't know. That's not an important distinction, but I always think that they're different in my mind.
Yeah,
absolutely. A proper key player versus a synth player.
Yeah, but also when you say keys, I feel like it just implies,
Diddly-doot.
But, then we got Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick, the singer of the Banana Creatures. For this show, I think he'll be doing acoustic guitar and synth.
Synth, yeah.
But he'll be, doing some guitar in the future. And then Ian Stewart is our newest member,
guitarist.
and he is a dedicated guitarist. And then Brandon Go.
Yeah.
He is formerly of a band that I recorded called Exploded Drawing. That is, I'm assuming is no longer a thing. Their singer might still be doing it. Anyway,
from there, if you heard of
he
it.
was from that band out of Seattle, and it was another one of those Charleston bands that I mixed, and then they came for a tour at 12:45 after
AM,
the show.
just in case people were confused.
And they immediately were like smitten with it, and I was smitten with them, and it was. So I'm really happy I met Brandon. He is
awesome.
One of the only people I have had the pleasure of hanging out with that feeds my nerd like he does. He's also studio guy and live sound and a gear nerd.
So after Edison Cabinet, who's the next
band
group?
Will be the ASTROTECS.
It took a while just to find out what all this is really about. I guess I thought that you were the one. The dreaming mind has got me done. Oh no. Oh no. It turns out that's me to blame. I've gone off in love again. I'm memorized how I make do. I only hope that it's with you.
We did a single together, Make It End, at some point in time. I really don't remember dates anymore, but that was how I got initially. That was the first working relationship I had with Laminal Audio, who's been doing a lot of mastering with my clients recently and just doing a stellar job. But Make It End, I think, really impressed me for like that, in your in your face modern rock sound, and I was really impressed with what Alan of Laminal Audio did with it, and I think Dragon, their singer-songwriter of that group, was also pretty taken with it, so they came back and did an EP that came out in August called SSDD, and that's 4 tracks, again recorded here, again mastered by Alan, fantastic. He just came in sneakily and did another single recently that, oh my gosh, using some new mics and new pre's on it, it sounds...
Game changer.
It's another one of those moments.
We're constantly upgrading.
Where clearly I can remember, like, oh my god, this just upped the ante so much.
I remember the first time we got our pair of Earthworks.
Oh yeah,
that we're like, oh my gosh, this is what just good mics sound like.
The overheads alone are like, what is going on?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I also recently recorded Jordan Eller with that same pre and mic and same thing. So it wasn't a fluke with the ASTROTECS. It was
that's cool.
It was just really, really
just
stellar.
Good.
Yeah,
just
it's one of those things you just put on a couple pads, EQ pads, and then put on a little bit of the tape saturation on the pre. It's a Warm Audio MPX. I just love it. A tube pre that's all about kind of getting gritty. And yeah, it's just like a compression-free, EQ-free vocal that's just so level and even and wonderful. And I was...
That's great.
Anyway, so ASTROTECS are playing.
Yes.
Love them. And I've heard that this is going to be their first show in a while where they aren't a 3-piece anymore. They're going to be a 5-piece. Got another guitarist and a key player. Yes, a key player. No synths. I've confirmed.
Yeah. More than one finger.
Well, I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter saying, "Hey, Dragon, why is he not playing a synth?" From Colin, Anyway, so after the ASTROTECS is the second of my bands that's going to be playing, the Banana Creatures. Patrick, aforementioned in the EDISON cabinet, is the singer. Austin Elsey is the bass player. They are both Pat is formerly of Portland. Austin is still there. I guess technically Vancouver, Washington, but when you live in that area, you call yourself a Portland and you live there.
Pat is actually moving up, and he's going to be a big part of the studio.
Up and joining the studio as a contributor, co-worker,
Nice.
And just an
I really
overall
Nice.
good dude.
He's an overall good dude. He is
Cool.
great.
Picture the picture, I'll let you down. I'm soaking liquor, where I can shape the sound. We're going down, 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 down. We're going down, 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 down. Well, now I'm caught, bitch.
And anyway, so he's the singer-guitarist in that group, and Austin is the bassist. I play guitar and synth, and Justino plays drums.
He's a
And
drummer
sweet.
through and through.
Yeah, and then to close it out, we got Chameleons.
Oh, sweet. Always good.
Yeah,
Always
they're
good.
gonna rock it. And
They
I
better
think
play Perseverance.
They boom, yeah, boom,
Yeah.
Cool.
and, yeah, that song's rad. That was the first thing I recorded with them. Was the In Between EP with Perseverance and In Between and oh no, why can't I remember the other song? What's the other song? Oh my God, Chameleons, don't kill me. I can't remember what it is.
I
Are they gonna
guess,
kill
but
you?
I feel like
It
it's
starts
gonna
with
make
an S.
Severance. Is that what it is?
Don't worry, we're interviewing you, but we're not going to tell anybody.
Okay.
It's an underground interview.
Well, anyway, that is the end of night one.
Nice.
Night two?
No, about Chameleons real
Oh,
quick.
yeah. Yeah.
So, are the original bass player ever going to come back, you think? Or what's going
I
on with
can't
that?
speak to that.
We
Okay.
love
I
Dan.
can't speak to that.
Yeah.
I
Dan is amazing.
Yeah.
am hoping to call with Ryan tonight, and I'm squeezing that into the call. 'Cause
Just seeing. I don't know. I think they'd be cool with two bass players. But that's
They
just
did
me.
that
They
once.
did for
Well,
one
just-
show. I
well,
think
there
I've
they
you
came
also
up
go.
with like
played
a
with
couple
them once on
songs.
bass.
Well, there you go.
There's,
What if they
never
had
know.
3 bass
Oh
players?
my God.
Think about it.
Well, somebody could play a 12-string bass.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody could play.
Spice it
That's
up.
pretty cool.
Yeah, somebody could play a synth
Yeah.
bass.
There you go. I need somebody on Corn Dog. And dialed.
Anyway,
Saturday- and then-
Chameleons are great.
Yes.
By the way, just I talked a bit about all the other bands.
Yeah,
Chameleons
I'd
were
really love to record them again. They were
yeah.
a blast.
I mean, we did an EP and a record with them, and Ryan helped build a lot of the booths here. And,
Yeah, huge shout out to him. He
Yeah.
like
He's
I don't
fantastic.
think the studio would be where it is
then
without
all-
his help.
Obviously, also Christian is a
Yeah.
fucking bestie now.
Yeah.
Being an
Yeah.
Edison
He's a
cabinet and
homie.
That's
everything.
cool. Yeah.
And I adore Dan, and Dan's family
Yes.
is so wonderful. And I know that, I think he recently welcomed another child into the world,
Wow.
which is one of the reasons why he took
Yeah.
a step back from Chameleons and their jamming. But I know he comes back every now and then, so I'm hoping that he gets that. I have a feeling he's going to be there.
He'll make a guest appearance.
I just mean, it's an Empty Lane thing, and we're all we have this little bond in our hearts, I think. So, yeah, me and Dan get along, man. Anyway, you were saying Saturday night.
Yes.
Saturday night.
Oh, boy.
It's a big night.
This one, I'm very. This bill is gonna be crazy because night one, rambunctious as all hell, gonna be rocked out all night. But Saturday is really special for me. The show's getting opened up by a band. Banana Creatures was playing a show in Portland, and I just happened to catch them on the bill. I rarely say this to myself, and Patrick rarely says it to me, but we turned while we were listening to them and went, what the fuck? I love these guys. They're called Combo Box, and they're actually recording with me last week of October.
Sweet.
So they barely made the threshold
Yeah.
to hop on the bill.
Rad.
And they're kind of, to me, they give me this Gang of Four, Talking Heads, Brian Eno, Love Child. They're very talky, very like angular, pointy guitars.
So I wonder what number would they be on the menu? You think like 3 or 6? You know what? If you're going to order them through the drive-through.
3 rolls off the tongue.
I understand now.
Yeah. They're definitely up there. They're like one of the first few you see.
I'd say they
like
would
combo
be
box.
at least
Yeah, combo
two.
box. You know.
Late night combo box.
But to me, they're one.
Nice.
So anyway, they are fantastic. And they're opening up the show. And then second is going to be the Marion Type, which, as I mentioned before, that is Nathan, my main inspirations, band. And also happens to be the band that my dad was in with him
Oh, rad.
when I was younger. I don't think they've played since like 2009.
But they're
And
reforming.
They're reforming with their original drummer too.
Oh, wow.
His name's Benjamin. Right now, he's playing drums in a band that's getting some traction in Seattle called Some Surprises, which is actually how I managed to get in contact with Alan for the very first time, because I mixed Some Surprises at the Tracyton Movie House, and he had just mastered their record through Doom Trip Records, and then we played at Russian Blue, played a show with Some Surprises, and he watched our music video through that, and as well as he mastered and mixed, I believe, correct, sorry Alan if I'm wrong, the Fruit Juice record. The bassist of Fruit Juice was the guy that Jackson rented the PAs for his festival from.
Wow.
So I met him
Johnny
that day.
Cole, I think is his name.
And then
Johnny Cole.
Yeah.
I mixed them.
Awesome.
He's
Charleston
actually
as well.
an amazing
He's great.
keys player.
A keys player?
Yeah,
seen
the first time I
keys.
met him, that's what he was doing.
I remember
He's
checking his
killer
band
bass
out
player.
for the first time, and
just,
it was blew me away.
yeah.
I was like, "Holy crap!"
Johnny Cole. Yeah,
He's a good guy.
He's awesome.
a good guy.
One of the ones that got away for me, they were already recording their record when I mixed them at the Charleston, and kindly solicited them because they were another band, actually kind of similar to Combo Box. They're a little Fruit Juice is a little bit more on the funkier side.
Sweet.
But yeah, I was just like, oh, this post-punk infused loveliness is very much up my alley.
Awesome.
So anyway, all that comes back around. That's how I met Alan, the drummer of Some Surprises. I was surprised that it was from my dad's old band, and I remember I recognized him a little bit. I was like, man, wait, what? I haven't seen you since I was like 8, maybe 10. But anyway, so they're all back together, and Nathan's kid is also playing with them. And
Oh, really? That's awesome.
And I think I'm going to go up and play some keys.
Ooh.
Honestly.
Ooh. More than one finger.
And then after that is Hot Step Mom. That is a younger band from Tacoma that's doing really well for themselves. I think they were originally formed through Live It Out Loud.
I believe so.
Which, for those who don't know, is a cool program based out of Tacoma that gets kids who are enrolled and puts them into bands and helps them rehearse and write songs and record. I think they were recording at Alma Mater, that studio before it closed. In any event, this singer of Hot Step Mom is Luke from One Eyed Rush. And so, wait, did I say that wrong?
You said that. It's not wrong. Luke from One Eyed Rush.
The singer of Hot Step Mom is dating Luke.
Correct.
From One Eyed
Rush. Oh, that makes
her name is Anna. Because we're going to drop her name and not Luke's. Because she is the front person.
The reason I brought it up is because that's yet another connection.
That is, everything's intertwined.
Again, we're just interviewing you, but we're not going to tell anybody. It's all good.
Because that would be really embarrassing if other people had
other people knew.
The days that I sleep through, wrapped up in my cocoon, love the things I outgrew, fresh warm wings and new view, stained glass that I can't see, thought it might be a little early, but the sun follows me through the day, keeping shadows
But no, Hot Step Mom's really, really cool. So the reason I bring up Luke is because Luke made a suggestion to them to come record with me. And so I got on the phone with them. I was like, hi, Hot Step Mom. Come record with me. And they did. And they just recorded Cocoon, which just released, I don't even think a week ago. I think it was 5 days ago.
Very recent.
And it's already doing really good. And I've actually received more feedback personally than I do on most of my mixes or productions. And the band seems really stoked with it. I certainly am. It's just a
turned out very, very well.
Really good just indie song.
Nice.
Played a lot with room mics on that one and have a whole second verse where I play both keys and synth. I'm going to let that one die. No, sorry, the keys synth joke. It's tickling me, but now it's distracting me as well. Right. So anyway, Hot Step Mom is playing third, and I'm really excited for that. And then after them is our very good friends, Male Gaze. I love them to death. Just did 3 singles with them, and then I've recorded an EP with them in the past, and I think we might be cooking something up for next year now.
When's the last time they recorded here?
Ooh, oh my God! It was the last music they just did, but when was that?
It's been a minute. It's been
almost a year.
Yeah, I'd say about a year.
It's weird.
So it came out in 23 or
no? We recorded end of 23.
Yeah. Okay,
and I think they have released at least 2 of them.
Yeah, it was sometime in like November. I feel like. Of 2023.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was at end of 2023. Yeah. And they've either just finished releasing all 3 singles or they have released 2 of them. I feel like a bad friend.
That's okay.
God. But anyway, Hank from Milgaze has made some of my favorite pedals on my board. He made the Dope, which is like a Sun preamp.
Nice.
And then he also made me my absolute favorite pedal of all time, the Crash Package. I just bought 2 more from him.
Fun fact, they're on all the pedal boards of the EDISON cabinet.
Yeah, everybody has a Crash Package on there.
Nice.
Essentially, it's a big muff with a single note of delay and one, and then like a pitch envelope.
Nice.
So depending on how you set it, different amounts of delay and pitch modulation.
I think David Bowie here.
Yeah. Does it pitch up and down so you can choose what?
No, it's a little less.
Okay.
It's kind of an unruly pedal.
I see.
It doesn't really. You kind of just turn it, and it's consistent. But I mean, even between the 3 I have, they're all drastically different. Like how much the pitch knob affects it and things like that. But I think it just goes up. No. If you go past noon, it starts going. But it only does it one time. But essentially, what it creates is this very cool siren. Especially when you put the mid boost on, and I've like Jackson was just saying, I've always compared it to the Fripp parts on David Bowie Heroes.
Nice. Yeah.
I think that's actually a synth on those recordings, double with the guitar. But I mean, that's kind of how it sounds.
Exactly
to me.
like
it's
that.
All over a bunch of recordings I've done with. It's like one of my favorite guitar solo tones for anything that's not.
Shout out Drake.
Long notes.
I say that I am fine. You made me want to try. Bury my head, ignore the signs, pretend it's all.
Anyway, and then closing out the show will be my 3rd band that's playing the festival, which is Russian Blue.
Russian Blue. Who is that?
It's a band.
Oh yeah. Are they from around here?
Yeah,
These parts?
we're gearing up to do some exciting things. Honestly, though, with all this studio recording I've been doing, the band has kind of had to slow down a little bit as of late. I've just been working a lot, and they've been working a lot. But anyway, we're strong as ever. For those who haven't seen Russian Blue before, we've got, at the moment, I think we have 9 synths on stage and not a single keyboard. I lied.
Yeah.
It's back.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, we're very synth fanatical folks. Justino from Banana Creatures and the Edison Cabinet is the drummer, and I am the singer, and sometimes I play guitar, less so these days. And then we have Zara Bran on bass.
Oh, yeah.
And she's a legend. And we've got Bryce James on guitar. And
When did he join the band?
so I actually, one of the guitarists that isn't Hank in Male Gaze, Ray, was the drummer in a punk band I was in called Black Glow that was sort of started by our mutual buddy Salim and Bryce. And I played guitar with them for a bit, and essentially after we, started doing more of the synth stuff, we made a decision to kind of go a different way with guitarists, and Bryce happened to be rehearsing here already, and I knew him to be very capable, and so we thought we'd take a chance with him, and ever since then he has just been a godsend. Bryce is a crazy mad scientist weirdo, and he's done all of our audio panels here for the studio, helped us run
He's
the
the
snake.
studio handyman.
Nice.
He's our go-to guy when it comes to construction.
Yeah, he does. Well, it's not even
And
necessarily
engineering,
construction.
I guess.
It's like the engineering,
the
wiring,
schematics. Yeah.
He's a very good planner.
Wiring engineer.
Yeah.
And then to round all that off, we've got Justice on keys, and again, he is a godsend. Zara, Justino, me, and Justice all went to high school together. But Justice didn't join for 4 years, so it's just crazy to have so many people that I've known for so long. The band definitely feels the most familial that it ever has. And anyway, I think we might do a little surprise for this show, which we're very excited about because we've been jabbering about it for over a year now, that we have a new record that we've been working really hard on, and we just really want to release it, right? And we think it's especially special compared to what we've done before. And anyway, excuse me, we've been holding our breath on it. But in the new year, something will happen with that. So,
It sounds awesome.
yeah, but I'm very stoked. Definitely going to be playing a fair amount of that.
I do the same thing, and I do it in vain. Follow every step, and I feel the way. I just don't know how to take it. It's not a part of the plan, and I don't know how to face it. It's a shame. It's a shame. Seen it all before, heard it all before, and I've felt it all before. How do I do the same thing?
that's what it's all about.
1,000%.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's kind of the goal, though. Is
Sweet.
With the whole fundraiser thing, we just want to keep the good thing going, and we feel that people are getting more, excited about this, and we're getting more excited about what we're doing with each session, and yeah, we just want to capitalize on that emotion,
Sweet.
So.
Now for the fun part. This is here. There's that. We're gonna have some questions and answers, and
Oh, I love it.
yeah.
Pop rocks.
While we do some pop rocks that are actually called aftershocks, because I guess they don't make pop rocks anymore. But
Really?
I not that I know of. But
That's crazy.
we got to get these going.
This
So
is so good. How do you?
yeah,
Just rip
You
it.
just rip
You
it
just
from
rip
one of
it.
the
yeah,
hairs.
just rip it from one of the
From the
hairs.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. I think I don't even know what
I
I
actually
got
feel like
here.
I've been ingesting
I
like
got-
toxic
I got
stuff.
watermelon.
that
So
Pop rocks are no longer a thing.
I've never
I
had
could all I could
rocks.
afford for fun, because Smokestack is a small budget, but
ASMR.
how was that?
I did too much.
Okay, guys.
I did too much.
much.
Jackson first. Best band name ever.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Think about it.
I had a whole list,
Band name sucked.
just like funny ones. Oh,
best band name ever. It could be a band that already exists.
band that already exists. I mean, I'm really fond of Queens of the Stone Age.
Good band
I think their names rock and their songs
A
rock.
bunch of queens.
It's pretty damn
They're
good.
killers.
Colin.
Oh,
Best
same
band
question.
name ever.
I really like Fugazi.
Oh, that's
Great
a good
band.
one.
Yeah, that always helps the reputation of the band name.
Okay, Jackson. Favorite local band that you're not in?
Oh, Fruit Juice. I love Fruit Juice. They're
Freaking
awesome.
local
I've only
BCL.
seen them once, unfortunately, but they're fantastic.
Kitsap. I'm
Kitsap
trying to keep it
specifically.
local.
No, that's right. That's right.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that one hurt. Kitsap. Chameleon.
Chameleon.
Valid.
Best venue in Kitsap County, Jackson.
I mean, the Charleston. I mean, you got to give it to the Charleston. They have one of the best stages around. They've got an incredible community, and I mean, the
Andy and
owners,
Angel.
Andy and Angel are just
Yeah.
amazing. They're
Well,
great.
Yeah. I would say,
Call 'em.
same question.
Yes.
I would say for the experience, the stage, the community, the aesthetic, the Charleston. As a sound person, I gotta say though, I work at the Trayston Movie House. Very proud of the sound specifically there.
They've got
But
good
I do
sound.
think it's impossible to beat the Charleston on any other front. And I think the Charleston has my heart forever.
Absolutely.
Okay. Pick one of these, Jackson. Cheeseburger, taco, veggie burger, chicken sandwich, torta, egg salad, gyro, or peanut butter, cheddar, bacon, falafel, pico de gallo, Twinkie, pickle, mushroom, celery, lime jello, hummus, gray poupon, Indian fry bread sandwich.
Was that was
one?
everything in
That
one
was
sandwich?
that was everything. Yeah, the peanut butter one was its own thing.
Gotcha. I'd probably go with the chicken sandwich. I'm a chicken sandwich guy.
It's
I
just
like
a straight guy. Colin, need me to repeat that for
You probably want the latter one, don't you?
you? Gotta pick one. Okay, so it's cheeseburger, taco, veggie burger,
Veggie burger.
chicken sandwich.
Wait, you haven't heard
really?
all of them. You
Yeah,
haven't
I've heard
heard
them all.
Hold on.
Torta. Ever had a torta?
No.
Dude, tortas are good.
Egg,
I just eat veggie burger.
egg salad.
Nothing else.
I eat veggie burgers and sand. So
Egg salad gyro.
I've never had that.
Oh.
See, I would have had a gyro
Yeah, just
if
go.
No.
chicken sandwich wasn't
Right.
an option. That's-
So what's on the horizon for Empty Lane with you guys? I mean, besides the upgrades, I mean,
Yeah.
what's something big that's coming
well,
up?
we
you know,
also
we
just
can
want
talk
to
about?
expand our audience a little bit more, because right now we appeal to the local Kitsap community, which is awesome. I love supporting them, but I feel like what we have should be shared to all.
Well, yeah, actually, on that note, what are we doing? What are we about to launch?
We're about to launch a YouTube channel and get out to even more people online.
Oh, you're getting a Gretsch, I heard. Colin.
I am.
Oh, we're just interviewing you. We're not going to let anybody know.
No one's going to know.
I'm going to be reviewing, in my own way, I'm going to be reviewing a couple instruments. I also have something from Harpy Guitars.
Which in a sense we got sponsored by.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
The studio has already got
which is going to be really cool. It's, but I'm not going to do traditional videos on it. We're going to do, there's kind of like 4 branches of what we want to share. I'll just shoot them off real fast. One is like behind the scenes making of footage of sessions, just like people coming up with ideas, getting their vocal take, and yeah, just like sort of little tiny video essays on different albums that get made. I think I'm going to stick to albums for the most part.
Yeah.
Not do EPs or singles just to save myself a little bit of editing work, you know, because otherwise I'd be doing it like every week and that'd be crazy. And then we've already done one with Banana Creatures that will be one of the first videos we put out, but we plan to do many more in studio live sessions where we have a band come in, do 4 or 5 songs. Preferably a band we've recorded with, because the idea is to
showcase what we did,
the production of their record, like exactly like they're doing it live, but it sounds like they're recording. But you get to watch them make it. So it's less so about like the purity of a raw live performance and more watching people craft album quality. There's a series called From the Basement that I've always been very inspired by, that Radiohead has done and Idols have done and a lot of other bands I really like, and I've just always loved just the level of excellence that they have. It isn't really like a run and gun type raw video shoot where the cameras are zooming in and out. It's very cinematic, and so I think we're going to do some of those. I'm going to do sort of behind the song videos with artists where we break down, sitting at the computer at the session, break down the production elements and little hidden overdubs and stories about the lyrics or stories about why that sounds the way it does. And then bringing us back to the guitars is I want to do videos about, essentially they're talking about pieces of equipment, but it's more specifically talking about how equipment and history of that equipment intersects with its technical ability and advantages, intersects with how you creatively use that in arrangement and production. So kind of taking, for instance, I have a Gretsch Peppermint Twist that a video is going to kind of revolve around, that I have cooking in my head, where it starts by talking about the Peppermint Twist, how I feel personally about that guitar, other guitars I have that are like it, but then talk about what technically is actually making it cool, which is that type of early Filtertron. How does that react with saturation and fuzz? And here's how that sounds in 3 different genres, and how does it sound with reverb, and now why do I reach for it, and things like that. But trying to make that as streamlined and cohesive as possible to kind of just make cool video essays on just the bridge between being excited about gear and that excitement leading to making music.
Nice. Jackson, where do you see yourself in Empty Lane in 5 years?
I see myself running more of the sessions around here. Currently my main role is like a manager, I guess, where I'm helping out with sessions and not quite scheduling yet, but that's going to be a bigger role in the new year of Empty Lane. But just making sure the studio has what it needs to operate at maximum efficiency. But I definitely see myself in more of a engineer or a producer role in the future.
Nice. Colin, where do you see yourself and Empty Lane in 5 years?
Well, I actually see myself in 5 years. I hope that I am a little bit more of an owner rather than always a producer and an engineer, because I really like playing live, and I'd like to set this place up to have it sort of
run itself.
Yeah, run itself, and give other engineers a chance to be here and like build it up to be more communal, and hopefully book it out to other buds. I still definitely want to produce here, but just the ability to have it be bigger than just the 2 of us, Yeah, that's right.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you, Mykey from Smokestack, and thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
From Empty Lane.
Yeah.
Checking out. Have a good weekend.
Cool. Hurry, run, cut it before I say something rude. Don't fart in the mic.
So killer.
That was amazing.
awesome, dudes.
That was super cool.
Forgot the shit suck sandwich in the list.
I know. It's okay. Came close.
Oh, so good.
Put it all together. It's probably that.
Should have put a hot sauce.